this morning with John, and I think you really brought up a great point, dude. You're not indicting Makai Lemon at all in any way whatsoever when it comes to what he potentially could become at the end of the day. I'm starting to get to a point now where I'm concerned about the first half of the season for the kid.
Well,
And
me
I'll
too,
say,
dude.
and I'll say this to you, right? I thought your take was perfect. Hey, dude, in the year where you got rid of AJ and you drafted a guy at 17, I was expecting this guy to come in and carry some water for the offense, right?
No doubt, dude. No doubt. I mean, I don't understand how people, John included, and I've said this to him, he just doesn't see it like this, but I don't understand how you can comp this scenario to every other first round pick scenario. Like, it's not. The Eagles have a Super Bowl window open, wide open, and they believe that. And the people around the league believe that based on where they've ranked their roster and things like that. So, this is obviously a situation where these dudes need to, they need to step up. But, where I've relented a little bit is, and this is why I was upset with John about the Darius Cooper conversation, is it doesn't have to be Lemon. It just has to be somebody. Somebody has to step up. Is it Lemon? I don't know. It's kind of like when they drafted Dillard. It was such a bad draft pick, but nobody gave a shit because Jordan Mailata worked. You know what I mean? So it's like we need somebody to step up. We need, whether it's Darius Cooper, it's Elijah Moore, it's Dontavian Wicks. I don't know, but we need some of them to step up. I am intrigued by Wicks. I'm intrigued by Cooper, but John keeps telling me it's a summer story and he's not going to get on the field. I don't think the Eagles are in a time right now where it's time to play politics. This is not play politics when you're playing for the next 3 years. Play politics when you're back in the middle of the pack. Play politics when you lose the East. Don't play politics when your Super Bowl window is wide open. Now, I got to give them a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt because the Eagles have made such great decisions overall in the last several years. So I'm not ready to conclusively say that they're doing one thing or another, but I just feel as though somebody's got to step up. And if Darius Cooper's that guy, I don't really care where Makai Lemon was drafted. You got to get him on the football field. We'll see if they do that.
Okay. Z, do you think this is an organization that really looks at perception as a big deal and how they're perceived?
Yes, but I think it's changed a little bit because they're now perceived so highly.
Okay. Well, if they're perceived so high, do you think Howie is perceived highly because of his personnel moves?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how would this look if Darius Cooper's the number 3 wide receiver, Makai Lemon, if healthy, is sitting on the sidelines in week 1, 2, or 3?
Well, it's a blessing and a curse. Your first round pick struggling, but you found a diamond in the rough in Darius Cooper. That's kind of, again, that's why I used the Mailata Dillard comp. It's not perfect because they're tackles.
Yeah, but what's the level that you're talking about with Cooper? Like, just because Cooper's starting doesn't mean he's going to be a guy you thought
but
he would be.
Determine that until the year, right?
Understood.
I think we got to wait and see. I mean, still, you were a player. You understand how sometimes the whole process of the NFL and the scouting and everything that goes into, they miss dudes. It just happens. It just happens. Sometimes there's a dude who can flat out play, or he didn't go to the right school. I mean, I'll rewind a little bit, and to a lesser degree, you did it, I did it, and many people in the chat did it. They'll act like they didn't, but they did. When we drafted Quinyon Mitchell over Teron Arnold,
oh, absolutely,
there were people who were like, "Man, you took the Toledo dude over to Alabama dude."
Absolutely, I said it.
Again, a lesser degree. Obviously, Quinyon was a first-round draft pick, not the same comp, but Darius Cooper's out there playing, getting open on Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, and Tariq Woolen he had on skates in a Vic Fangio defense. I mean, I think the dude can flat out play. So, I'd like to see him get out there, but I get your point. I mean, just because he's out there doesn't mean he's going to make up for it. But the one thing that you said that I 100% agree with, I mean, and I don't think there should be any other way to look at it. When you don't have the receivers that win on talent alone, the quarterback has to elevate those guys. And I also think the offense and the coaching staff around them as well.
Yes.
We talk a lot about how Patrick Mahomes elevates, Juju Smith-Schuster. Well, Andy Reid does too. So I think the coaching staff and the quarterback have to elevate these dudes. And, we'll see what it looks like this year. But I don't know. I have a weird feeling that this Darius Cooper dude is not just some undrafted dude that can get – that's another Travis Fulgham.
I like his energy.
To be a good player.
I like his energy. I like his energy of wanting to be really good and fighting for something. I'm going to tell you something, dude. I heard something that John said to you. I could not disagree more with this. When you said this to him, hey, man, schemes matter. Well, let me ask you this. If I put a lesser talented guy in a scheme, the chances of that scheme being not very good, I don't care if it's Vic Fangio. You tell me this, Zander. If you put the Eagles scout team defense in Vic Fangio's defense scheme in week 1 against the Commanders versus the talent you have that are on your starting 53, you think you're going to get killed by the Commanders? Of course you are.
Yeah.
My point is, you don't think Vic puts people like Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond in positions to make their road easier to get to their goal? If you have a guy that knows how to get to a goal with an easier path than the other coach, who do you think is going to do more for his football team this year? Vic or Sean Mannion? Vic, experience, knows the road, knows the speed bumps. Sean Mannion's got to learn those speed bumps still.
Yeah, but to be fair, just to be fair to Mannion, I agree. But
I'm comparing him to Vic. Okay.
And Vic does have some pretty good players to work with right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's
got a first and a second at the secondary. He's got Tariq Woolen.
You know what I mean?
Like, he's got talent.
Yeah, but I'm talking making Bond, improving.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, do you think that Jordan Davis has improved since Vic became the coach?
Oh, absolutely. But to be fair, I think that's been mostly Clint Hurt. I mean, okay. Clint Hurt, what a whale of a job.
Coaches in Vic's scheme.
What a hell of a job that dude has done.
Right.
I mean, that dude is just deserves so much credit for what's going on that defensive line. Now, there's great players he's got to work with, but really has brought out the best in those guys. But no, I get what you're saying. I mean,
certain coaches know the easier road to success than others. Just based on experience.
And are you saying Mannion can't do that, or you just think it's too much of a gamble at this point in time to go with somebody who doesn't know?
I think because he hasn't done it yet and been through the experiences of losing. It took Vic 40 years to win a Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah.
And listen, is he capable? Yeah. Will the Eagles give him time? I don't know.
I mean, that's a fair question.
I just don't know.
I do like Sean. I mean, I don't know if I'm just going Eagle fan on it, but I mean, when I listen to the dude, I'm like, the guy sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Because he gives you reasonings.
Yeah.
Why you're doing shit.
I think I also think it's all seemingly at this point until we see it in action. But to me, he seemingly has a good idea of where the most important areas to push are on, like communication with the quarterback. Such a simple thing, but Kevin Patullo clearly didn't do that well. I mean, Jalen Hurts has given 3 times now, credit to Mannion for the way he's communicated, and Sean has emphasized it as well. I listened to your buddy Mark Trestman. I'm pretty sure in his book, which I purchased, didn't read fully through it yet. I'm pretty sure he discusses how important it is for an offensive coordinator to be on the same page always with the quarterback. It's one of the most important relationships in the entire locker room, he said.
Yeah.
I don't think some other dudes did that right. It feels like Sean understands that. Whether he does it well is another question, but at the very least, understanding it, I think, is a good thing.
How do you feel about going into week 1 with Darius Cooper, Dontavian Wicks, and Devontae Smith as your wideouts?
I feel all right about that. I don't think that's as bad as we think. I mean, I think Dontavian's had a pretty good camp. And Darius Cooper I'm pretty high on, but it's obviously not what it once was. And it's going to mean that Jalen and the coaching staff are going to have to do more to elevate and put those guys in positions to succeed. But I don't feel as bad about it as I did